Hi everyone, welcome back to another video on my channel. So it's Saturday 11 p.m. and I have spent half of my day going through Namaste JavaScript playlist by Akshay Saini, and I thought of revising the concepts whatever I have learned today. So for revision, what I have done is I have added all the YouTube videos in Notebook LM and it has generated a quiz for me. So I'll be solving that quiz right now. So we can solve this together in this video. Also, apart from this, I have some, I am also referring to this resource, which is a great resource for, diving deep into the concepts. So I have opened few of the pages which uh, were covered in the videos today. Okay, so here also we have some questions at the end, so I'll be solving those as well. Okay, so let's get started. Let's first tackle these quiz questions. It would help us gain some understanding, and then we can move forward with javascript.info. Yeah, in the memory creation phase of the execution context, how is a function expression assigned to a variable treated compared to a function declaration? Yes, so in the execution, so in the memory creation phase of the execution context, basically, if we, define a function like this, like a function expression, it is treated as a variable and it is initialized as undefined. So the answer is A. What specifically happens to the call stack when a function finishes executing in JavaScript? So the execution context is popped off the stack and deleted, correct? Why does a set timeout with a delay of 0 milliseconds not execute its callback function immediately? So this is because even if the delay for a set timeout is 0, what happens is this, as soon as the set timeout API is hit, it is pushed to the callback queue. Okay, so it gets pushed to the callback queue, and then let's say if it is 0, it can be, the event loop basically would keep on checking if the global execution context or if the call stack becomes empty at any particular point, it would push the uh, push this time stack set timeout in the call stack. Okay, so the answer would be the callback must wait in the callback queue until the call stack is empty. Which of the following describes illegal shadowing in JavaScript? Illegal shadowing is shadowing a global var with a local let inside a function. Okay, I'm sorry. Attempting to shadow a let variable using var, this would be an illegal shadowing. This is covered in the shadowing video. Yeah. What is the primary role of the parser within a JavaScript engine like Google V8? Parser would, I think, convert the source code into the abstract syntax tree. In the context of first-class functions, what does the ability to be treated as values specifically allow developers to do? Okay, so first-class functions or first-class citizens basically means that the functions can be passed as arguments or can be returned via another functions as values. So this would be the correct answer. How does just-in-time compilation improve JavaScript performance compared to a pure interpreter? So in basically it compiles frequently executed code into optimized machine code during runtime. This seems to be the most correct option because the entire script is not converted to machine code. Call stack will always be needed, and this also seems incorrect. So yeah, let's go with this. When using reduce to find the maximum value in an array, what does the accumulator represent at each iteration? So accumulator would accumulator would point to the maximum value, okay, because this is what the answer is. Accumulator is basically the result we are looking for. What happens when you try to access a let variable during its temporal dead zone? Okay, a reference error is thrown. Yeah. How does a closure help in maintaining data privacy in JavaScript? Yes, so this is covered in one of his interview questions video. So basically with closures, we can encapsulate the variables inside a function. So yeah, what is the key difference between a function statement and a function expression regarding hoisting? Okay, statements are fully hoisted within the function body. Expressions are hoisted as variables set to undefined. Correct. In a for loop using where, let me just check recording is on. Yeah. In a for loop using where, why does it set timeout callback typically print the final value of the index for each iteration? Okay, so here the question might not be clear, but if you have gone through the videos, this is a very famous interview question. So this is talking about something like this. Let's say we have a set timeout, okay, and it is in a for loop using where, okay. So we have a for loop, and inside it we have this. Yeah. Why does a set timeout callback typically print the final value of the index for each iteration? So basically, if I run this, it would print six times. Let me just refresh. So yeah, it prints six times, once each second. Sorry, 5 times, once per second. So the question is, why is it so, and why does not it actually print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? That is because this callback holds I, it holds the reference to I. Okay, so I's reference is used by the callback and not the actual value. So when after some time, when let's say after 1 second, it has to run, the value has already incremented. Okay, basically we have done something like, set timeout, and it has to log 1. It doesn't have to log 1. Basically it has to log I after 1 second. Okay, and then we have something like log I after 2 seconds, and then we have something like log I after 3 seconds, and similarly. So all of them are holding the reference to I, and when this is done, I is basically incremented to 6, and the loop comes out, and this will all be done in some milliseconds, and after that the set timeout is executed, and log I then gets the value 6. Okay, so this is how it is done. Here the answer would be, why does a set timeout? The callbacks form a closure with the same memory reference of the variable. Okay, what is a named function expression and how does its scope behave? Named function expression, yeah, this is a named function expression, a function expression with a name. So this is a named function expression. This is a named function expression because this is a function expression, but I have also given a name to it, and this name is only accessible inside the function. Outside the function, if I write something like this will not be recognized. See, xyz is not defined. Okay, so yeah, Why is JavaScript referred to as single-threaded language despite its ability to handle asynchronous tasks? Because it has only one call stack and it executes only one command at a time. In functional programming, what is the try? I hope everyone knows this. This is don't repeat yourself. What is the global object in the context of a browser environment? The window object. How does the shadowing of a variable affect its original value in the outer scope if using var? The outer variable is temporarily hidden but restored. The outer variable's value is modified. I think the value is modified because var has a global scope. Yeah, yeah, see, a block doesn't protect the outer variable. Which component of the V8 engine is responsible for converting bytecode into optimized machine code? This should be turbofan. Yeah. What is the primary difference between map and filter in JavaScript? Map transforms each element into a new value. Filter selects elements based on a condition. So basically both map and filter, they return an array. What map does is it iterates over all the elements of the original array and transforms the values in certain way. What filter does is it iterates over all the values of the given array and returns a subset of those values based on certain condition. We can write some code as well. Let's say we have 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so what map would do is basically it goes through, let me call it arr. So arr dot map, and it would basically go through each of the element and double it. Okay, and what filter does is it would also go through all the elements, but we can add a certain condition that we will only select those values which are greater than 3. Okay, so this is how they behave. Yeah, you can see here 2 4 6 8 10, and it gives us false 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 true true. Okay, sorry, this will be filter. Yeah, so it is only returning the subset and it has gone through all the values. Okay, yeah, if a variable is declared in the global scope but not initialized, what value does it hold during the execution phase? Undefined. What is the variable environment in the context of an execution context? Okay, what is the variable environment? The component where variables and function declarations are stored. I hope this is the answer. Yeah, okay. What is the consequence of garbage collection in engines like V8 for variables trapped in a closure? Variables are preserved in memory as long as the inner function is reachable. Yeah, correct. This is the correct answer. Basically, if we have a closure and we have returned the inner function, let's say, so that inner function would be useful or might be useful to some external functions, okay, whoever is calling them. And that is why the variables which are a part of that outer function cannot be cleaned. Okay, which statement best describes a higher order function? Yeah, a function that either takes another function as an argument or returns a function. What is the scope chain in JavaScript? What is the scope chain? The process of looking up a variable through nested lexical environments. In the V8 engine, what is inlining is an optimization technique. Okay, I'm not aware of this. What is inlining? I don't think this would be the correct answer. They will not convert var to const, replacing a function call with the actual code of the function. Could be, yeah, I mean, this sounds the best. Yeah, okay. What happens if you use let to shadow a variable that was previously declared with where in the same global scope? In the same global scope. I'm a little confused. I don't know. Okay. Let is strict about its scope from being reused. Okay. Okay. What is the concurrency model of JavaScript as explained in the event loop source? A non-blocking model using an event loop to handle asynchronous callbacks. When a script starts, what is the very first execution context? Global execution context. What does the microtask queue typically handle? Okay, microtask queue. Yeah, so microtask queue basically handles promises and mutation observers. True or false? The JavaScript engine is the same as no, false. So basically, JavaScript engine is a part of the browser. Browser has a lot other things, going on. Done. So yeah, I mean, the quiz was good. I think the shadowing part is something where I am lagging a bit. So now let's move ahead and basically I have opened some of the concepts from this javascript.info and there are some tasks at the end, so I'll try to solve them. If you want, you can go through this resource. Okay, it's an excellent resource. It has explained lexical environment like anything. I mean, you won't forget lexical environment once you are done with this post, okay, this blog, whatever it is. So okay, let's start with the task. Does a function pick up changes? Okay, so the function say hi uses an external variable name. When the function runs, which value is it going to use? Okay, so here we have name John, say hi, and name is then edited and basically name is updated to Pete. So basically what would happen is uh, this would actually show Pete, because again see, name is holding here, it is holding the reference. Okay, so basically you have something like name and it is pointing to John. Now what happens here is we have updated it to Pete, so now this reference is gone and now name holds a reference to Pete. Okay, so this is updated, so answer would be Pete. So solution is answer is Pete. Which variables are available? Okay, the function make worker below makes another function and returns it. That new function can be called from somewhere else. Will it have access to will it have access to the outer variables from its creation place or the invocation place or both? What will it show? Okay, so here we have make worker, it has name as Pete, function alert name, okay, let name is John, and then we have created this function, so it is returning this function. What will it show? So it will show Pete. Why? Because see, first it would try to find name in the lexical environment closest to it, okay, and it will find name in here, okay, and that is why it won't go outer or it won't go deeper into the lexical environment to find out the value of name. So the answer is Pete. And this is, yeah, so you can understand from the diagram over here. Here it is not finding name, it goes to the outer scope, it finds name Peter, okay, Pete, okay, and it uses this. If there were no let name in make worker, then the search would go outside and take the global variable. Are counters independent? Here we make two counters, counter and counter2, using the same make counter function. Are they independent? Okay, so we have the function over here, it is returning a function, so this is essentially a closure, and counter 0 1 counter 2. Yes, so basically these two are independent, okay, and you would understand this much better if you try to actually code this up and see it in the dev tools. So I'll just show you people. Okay, so now let's open the dev tools over here in the sources. So I'll add, okay, I'll add I've added debugger over these lines. Okay, and now refresh. So if you see over here, right now we are in this line. Okay, let's move inside this function. So see, right now we are inside counter. Okay, and this is the second time it has been called. So inside this closure, the count is now 1. It started with 0, it's now 1. Okay, if we see here, counter has a closure with make counter, and inside this the count is 1. Counter 2 also has a closure, but it has a separate reference to it, and the count is 0 over here. So they both are holding separate references, and that is why the answer would be 0, 1. Okay, so they have independent outer lexical environments. Counter object. Now we have a counter object. So see, here we have an object. This example was there in one of the videos, and so it would behave as expected. We have up, so count dot up, so this would increment to 1, so this will give 1, then this would give 2, and then this would give 1, because this will decrement. So 1 to 1, 1 to 1. Now what will be the result of the call at the last line? Let phrase is equal to hello. If true, let user is equal to John. Okay, say hi. Okay, say hi. Okay, so see, this function say hi is declared inside this block, the if block, so it will not be accessible here, and this looks like a syntax error to me. This is an error. Yeah, I mean, this is not a syntax error, but it is an error. Okay, we can check what kind of error this is actually. Let me remove the debuggers. See, here it is working fine. Result is an error. Wait, how is it an error if it is working? Okay, this is working fine, but how is it so? Uh, say hi. Say hi is called. How does it go there? I mean, it shouldn't have the reference, right? So this would be explained by ChatGPT to me. For now, I would avoid this. Let me check. Say hi is not defined. Okay, in their environment, it is coming as not defined. In our environment, it is working somehow. But how is this working? If true, but say hi would only be present. Wait. Do we have say hi here? P Yes, okay. It is attaching to the global scope, this function, and that is why it is able to come up. But how is it attaching to the global scope? I am unable to understand. So let's move ahead. Sum with closures, write function sum that works like this. Okay, so basically we have to write something. Okay, so we have to write the function sum. Now in this example itself, we can see that sum is taking one argument. Okay, so let's say we have over here And double brackets, basically this means that sum is returning a function and we are invoking that function as well. So sum needs to return a function. Let's call it sum2. And the function which sum is returning also takes a parameter, which is this. And then we can simply say this. And then we can call sum1, 2. Sorry. Sum 5 -1 -1. Yeah, perfect. This should work. I hope so. So yeah, 3 4 was this. Yeah, 3 4. So this is fine. Yeah, almost the same. What will be the result of this code? Let x is equal to 1, function console.log x, let x is equal to 2. Okay, we are logging x over here. We have x is 1. Okay, this seems tough to me. I don't want to check the solution right now, but maybe I'll come back to this question. Filter through function. We have a built-in method, filter for arrays. It filters all elements through the function f. If it returns true, then that element is returned. Make a set of ready-to-use filters. Okay, in between. Okay, basically this should work. Okay, so let me write the function in between. So it is taking two parameters and it would return a function. It is a callback function. If x is greater than equal to a and less than equal to b. Similarly, function in array. So this is taking an array. It would again return a function. Sorry. Yeah, if arr dot includes x. So output is 3 4 5 6 1 2. Yeah, 3 4 5 6 1 2. Well, good enough. Sort by field. We have got an array of objects to sort. Sorry. The usual way to do that would be users.sort Pete and John. Okay. Can we make it even less verbose like this? We want this to work. Just put by field. Write the function by field. Okay. Now this seems a little tough because we have not gone through we have not seen this in the video lectures by Akshay Saini. So by field, this takes a field. What do we want? Write the function. Okay. So basically we want to sort by the field which we have passed. Okay. So sort. So let's say we have user 1, user 2, and we would say okay, sorry, return if user 1 dot field greater than user 2 dot field. I hope this works. I have no idea, honestly. And John, Pete and John. Okay. Okay. I'll have to log as well. Yeah, okay, it works. And acha, it doesn't work. Okay, no, actually, let me comment this out. John and Pete. So this is, we are sorting by name. I don't know. I have to check the result over here. Field name, field name. Okay. Field greater than this. Should I do this? And John Pete. Okay. Yeah, this seems fine. And Pete and John. Yeah, okay. Okay, so I had to use these square brackets. Mm-hmm. Army of functions. The following code creates an array of shooters. Every function is meant to output its number. Something is wrong. Make army shooters I0. I goes up to 10. Shooter is function. Alert I. Shooters dot push shooter. Return shooters. All shooters show 10. Yeah, this is the same concept because they are holding the reference to I. They are not actually forming a closure. Basically, what happens is we will have to pass that I over here to each individual shooter. So then it would hold the reference to the current value. Okay. So this is the same example as it was present in one of the videos. Also, it is similar to that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 example which we have seen. So that's what pretty much the answer to this. Yeah. Now we have event loop again. This is a master blog post if you want to dive deep into how things happen. Okay, here we have one task. What will be the output of this code? Okay, see, one would be logged as it is. Then we have set timeout. Okay, now set timeout goes back to the callback queue. Okay, even if it doesn't have any time, it would be moved to the callback queue. So in the callback queue, we have console log for 2. Okay, so this is the current console log. Okay, then we have promise. Now for promises and mutation observer, remember they go to the micro task queue. So the promise, this goes to the micro task queue. So CL3 goes to the micro task queue. Then in here we have again a promise. So this also goes back to the this micro task queue. So in micro task queue we get the set timeout for CL4 and then we have CL5. Then in the callback queue we get CL6. The log 7 is now locked. Now the call stack is empty, so micro task queue is preferred over CBQ. Okay, so we get 3. Then this is taken care of. Now the set timeout has to be taken care of, so this is pushed to the callback queue because set timeout goes to the callback queue. Then CL5 is taken care of and this is locked. This is also gone. Now the callback queue comes to the picture. We get 2, then this goes off, then we get 6, then this goes off, then we get 4, and everything is out. So output is 1735264. 1735264. Perfect. This is mutation observer. There are no tasks in here. This is garbage collection. Again, no task. Arrow functions. Okay, what do we have? Replace function expressions with arrow functions in the array, in the code below. Okay, seems very easy to me. Wait, what did I do? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, perfect. Alert and this. Yeah, perfect. Then what is this? Function. Okay. The following function returns true if the parameter age is greater than 18. Otherwise, it asks for a confirmation and returns its result. Will the function work differently if else is removed? No, it won't. Because once it gets a return value, it would just return. I mean, there's no difference. Yeah. The following function returns true if the parameter age is greater. Otherwise, it asks rewrite it to perform the same but without if in a single line. Make two variants. So basically we can simply use this. Perform the same in a single line. So we can say return age greater than 18 true, otherwise the confirm prompt. Yeah. Make two variants of check age using a question mark operator. I think this is that. Or using or. Yeah, using or would be something like this. Yeah, perfect. Write a function minimum of a, b, which returns the least of two numbers, a and b. This seems very easy. I don't want to waste my time. Write a function power of x n that returns x. Again, very easy. I don't want to waste my time. Then function expressions, and then we have callbacks. So for none of these we have tasks. So I think we are done. We are done. It's been almost 37 minutes. Okay. So yeah, that will be it for this video. If you like the video, if it helped you with your revision, you can like the video, you can comment down below and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.